Cutting with a bandsaw machine is very common amongst a large variety of industries and applications. Bandsawing is a very cost-effective and productive way to separate material, and the benefits of using bandsaw blades are almost immeasurable. However, bandsaw blades are sharp and bandsaw machines are dangerous, and if they're not used properly, there can be disastrous consequences. The following video will take you through a typical cutting scenario at a bandsaw machine, illustrate the potential safety hazards that can arise, and identify the steps that you can take to prevent accidents. Meet Davis. Davis is a bandsaw machine operator for a local machine shop and is in charge of cutting a variety of raw materials. He has just clocked in to start his shift and is about to walk out to the production area to begin using the bandsaw. But before he steps out onto the shop floor, let's make sure he has all the proper personal protective equipment. It is highly recommended that before working on a bandsaw machine, you put on your safety glasses or prescription glasses with side shields, as well as hearing protection. Steel-toed shoes and long pants are also recommended when working in an industrial environment. It is also important that you tuck in or take off any loose clothing that might get caught inside the machine while it's running. This applies to any jewelry you might be wearing as well. And of course, don't forget to bring your gloves. Hand protection is essential when working on a bandsaw. A clean work area is a safe work area. Before you begin to do anything related to cutting, make sure that your work area is clean. This includes any potential tripping or slipping hazards such as tools, wires, boxes, debris, or spilled fluids. Clean up any potential hazards before you begin working on your machine. Also, make sure that the work area is properly lit. Spills or other potential hazards may not be visible without the proper lighting. We are now ready to operate the machine. Before we do so, make sure that you have reviewed the machine's operator manual and that you are fully capable of operating it in a safe way. Also, check the machine's maintenance records to be sure that the recommended scheduled maintenance has been performed on the machine. It is also important that you visually inspect the machine for any damage or wear, even if maintenance records are up to date. It is very easy for items to break, crack, or loosen in between scheduled maintenance checks. It is also important that you confirm that the safety doors and sensors are functioning properly and that you are aware of where the emergency stop button is located on the machine. If your inspection reveals that the maintenance needs to be performed before the machine can be operated correctly, only perform the maintenance yourself if you are authorized to do so. If not, please contact the appropriate maintenance personnel to perform the work. Regardless of who performs the maintenance, be sure that the machine is properly locked and tagged out before attempting to service it. Now that we have assured that the machine is in safe and operational condition, let's shift our attention to the blade. If a blade needs to be placed on the machine, safety should be considered immediately. Once a machine is in the appropriate position to accommodate a blade change, it should be powered off before attempting to open the safety doors. For machines that are hydraulically controlled, you will need to release the tension on the idler wheel before turning off the main power. After the old blade has been removed, be sure to coil it up and tie up the blade securely for disposal. Failure to secure the blade could result in it springing open and potentially injuring you or some of your coworkers. Once the old blade is removed, open the new blade in a safe and controlled manner. Throwing the blade on the floor to let itself spring open is not only unsafe, but has the potential to critically damage the tooth edge. Once the blade is open, you can now place it on the machine, making sure that it is properly secured around both wheels and through the guides. Once the blade is secure, power can be restored and tension applied to the band. To be sure that the proper PSI has been achieved by your bandsaw machine after tension has been applied, use the external tension meter. By placing the tension meter on the band before applying tension, you will be able to see how many pounds of pressure per square inch are being applied to the band. This value will differ depending on what blade or what machine you are using. Either way, running a machine with improper band tension can be a potential safety hazard. Now that the blade has been properly installed and you have confirmed the amount of tension being applied, you can now close the safety doors and begin to remove the plastic stripping on the blade by turning the machine on and off in short bursts, effectively jogging the blade around the wheels while pulling the plastic off the tooth edge. Make sure that the blade has completely stopped before reaching for the edging. Also, make sure that the hand you are using to remove the plastic has a glove on it, while the hand operating the machine's control panel does not. Removing your gloves before operating the machine will assure that you have the maximum level of dexterity when attempting to use the controls. Now that you have installed the blade, we should begin to load our material. However, whenever it is necessary to handle or transport material, it is critical that safety is the #1 consideration. For heavy materials, using a hoist can help, but make sure that you are trained on how to operate the hoist properly and that the path your hoist will be taking is also free of any obstructions. Sometimes, even with a hoist, certain material is too large for one person to safely handle. In this situation, you will need to ask the help of your coworker in order to safely move the material from one location to another. Also, before beginning the cut, it is critical that you check the material's MSDS sheet before attempting to use it in your cutting operation. This will ensure that you are using the proper PPE necessary to keep you safe while on the job, and that the materials you are working with don't create a hazardous situation while being cut. It is also critical that the material is viced properly when it has been loaded onto the machine. Trying to overload bandsaw vices or not vicing material in a stable orientation could cause the material to become dislodged. When you begin cutting the material, the cut pieces present some new hazards that the operator needs to be conscious of. When a piece has just been cut by a bandsaw blade, it more than likely is hot and has sharp edges or burrs, and should never be handled without proper hand protection. The cut piece also has the potential to fall off the machine if not removed, especially if the machine is left to run and several pieces begin to build up. If there is no operator there to monitor the machine, always be sure to set up something to stack or catch pieces of material as they fall. Since the majority of accidents are behavior related, there are a few more things to always keep in mind concerning safety in an industrial environment. First, avoid distractions like cell phones or anything else that takes your attention away from the operation at hand. Industrial applications are normally very noisy. When you approach someone, make sure that you don't do it from behind or in a way that could cause them to be startled. The most ideal scenario is working in a completely accident-free work environment. But sometimes, even when you are following all the safety procedures, accidents can happen. That is why it's important for any facility to always have an established procedure for emergencies. When emergencies occur, the faster they are addressed, the more beneficial it is for everyone involved. Thank you for your attention to this safety guide. Team Lenox wishes you a safe and productive experience while using our world-class sawing products. For more information and resources, please visit lenoxtools.com.